Hey guys, it's Casey here. I'm with my boy Chris. Out here at Nationals, top 64. Super excited for you.
Nats, what a crazy event. I played Tenpai, of course. Best deck in my eyes, you know. Let's get to the list. 3 Tenpai, Dragon Pydra. 3 Chandra, best extender. 2 Genroku. It's the new popper from the new set. Pretty much became like the best card for the deck, like second best. It was crazy all weekend. You play 2 just because, you know, it fits like the Snake Eye Fire deck, that 2 ratio for Poplar. Last Dragon was 2 Fadra. Most people played 1. There's other players who I theory with, they were looking on 1, but I think in this format where like if you can't OTK, you get into a grind, so you kind of need to fall back on the second one. Especially side note, when you play like Shifter in the main or side, you need like extension. So the other engine is obviously 3 Kaiman, 3 Summoning. That's it for the main engine. Non-engine, I also played Magnamut. This served as both non-engine plus engine, so it really worked the bridge when you need to search any one of your fire dragons. Really cool combo that you can do as well is when you Magnamut on their turn and you add a dragon in end phase, you can search Genroku, and then Genroku on end phase will summon itself. You could decide, depending on your hand, how you want to play it, whether you need engine or you just want to make a transcendent. So you can tag this out for Chandra, and when you start your turn, you just make the synchro 10 and you just go straight battle if you have Kaiman. So there's no need to like play into anything really, which is really good. That was a standard non-engine, 3 Veiler, 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, 3 Droll. The only thing to talk about really is just like these 2 for me. At Droll, I just wanted to respect Yubel. I think that deck is crazy. Even though they can make a board through Droll, I think the point of this is to just pair it with either a breaker or you pair it with another hand trap. It just mitigates like some of the omnis they won't need to they won't make. Same thing with fire. Like even if you're drawing fire, which is like a pretty bad hand trap, into fire, if you stop the field spell, which is an extender, you stop that from on your turn as well. So I think it was still really good. I didn't play any Yubel really day 1, which is unfortunate. Only 2 Yubel for the whole day, but it was still good. Otherwise, it was just pitches off on my field spell. So Veiler, I didn't want to play this card, but got convinced. It was DD Crow instead, but DD Crow felt a little weird, and this I think was better long term into just like fire and all the generic matchups. So 6 breakers, which were 3 Droplet, 2 Lightning Storm, and a Duster. These cards I think were way better than playing like more hand traps, because all I wanted to do was either like hand trap once or twice, like lower your board down and then just see one of these or prosperity into one of these, and then just like break your board, which worked all weekend. Like just seeing an imperm or sometimes just seeing an ash and then like you're not getting a certain piece of your board and then just like storming you was crazy. Storm is crazy into Yubel. It's literally like control alt delete on that board because they leave everything in attack and it's just like game. Drop it, just generically get into everything. Plus I think it also doesn't play into cross out with fire. You know, they feel really comfortable just like comboing for free, and then these were just like big blowouts against them. The last 2 cards on my deck were just like, I guess, defensive and consistency, which is just 1 call by and then 1 Terraform.
How many cards?
It was a clean 40. Didn't want to go over, obviously. I think this deck works best, you know, when it's clean like this. I think it's 21 non-engine and then, or sorry, 19 non-engine and 21 engine cards, which is really good. I mean, this list looks perfect. Wouldn't really change anything as well. Performed really well. Field center. I played this because after I won my matches, I told my opponents, yeah, have a safe flight back home, bro. So, yeah,
no.
It was pretty crazy.
Me personally, I wouldn't have took that. But
I actually never said that to anybody. I didn't say that.
Oh, not the cap is crazy.
I ain't gonna lie. I never said it. But it was the energy, though. That was the energy.
They knew the message.
I was gonna win, and then
they knew the message.
You knew. I won't explain this. The 1 and the 2. I guess you consider the spice in my list was Don Draxter. Sometimes when you lose die roll and they know what you're playing, they make you go first post side in some games, and they feel really comfortable playing just into a seal, knowing that they have their engine that's still going to resolve. But then this card was just crazy. I played Mirror the first 3 rounds of the tournament and lost every die roll, so I was going first a lot against the Mirror, and that's almost like you're dead, but I was able to make seals plus this. So this turned off like prosperity, field spells, their breakers. So I think this card was like honestly a big MVP. And I felt really comfortable going first or second, depending if the matchup. Samurai Destroyer for Yubel, Q-Belt for removal, just more battle face protection. Moonlight, that's mostly just for like removal for like flambers or if they have big bodies that you can't beat over. And like for Yubel, Black Rose, unexplainable. Ready was MVP today for graveyard removal. It helps you grind sometimes. If you can't OTK after you prosperity and you can't get to field spell, a lot of the time, especially against fire, you just like try to just put everything in the grave and then make this banish everything. So you have no more oak, no OSS, no more flambers, and everyone's on 1 right now, so that was really crazy. And then you just make a seal and say, have fun, and then it always usually gets back to you, and then you just OTK him there. Yugioh, pretty standard. You need this card. Sorry.
Did you borrow that from a friend?
No, sir.
Damn.
We had to pay some money for that one. These are the only links I played. Just one striker. Just helps you get into SP or in random games where you have like a dead Fadra on the field and you top deck like dead Padra, and then you top deck green. You just link it off, normal green, bring back Padra, and let you get back into your plays. Hida, never summoned it all day. Was like this all day in prosperity, but comes up probably in the mirror, even though I played 3 and didn't need it, but I think you still have to play it. One seal, I cut the second seal for Don Dragster. I felt like in this format where everyone's going first and like literally it's, you gotta like answer the board, and if you don't, you lose. And with this deck, I think you're not necessarily gonna grind all the time. So the second seals, I don't think was coming up anymore. I was playing 3 and I think it was necessary last format, but I think now I either am just gonna lose hella quick or win hella quick. So I think 1 is enough for right now. The last link was just SP. Just for like any removal, and you know, use it with the Hida or the striker usually. So yeah, that's it. I don't play Princess, Raging Phoenix. I think all that stuff doesn't come up. It's just in a vacuum unnecessary at all. Like if you get deburied, you get deburied, and you just go next game. Honestly, that's about it. Best card. Honestly, I get the statement when people say, when I saw this card, I won. Seriously, when I saw this card, I won. This card is crazy. All my matchups that I saw it, I was like, literally it was just like good night. And sometimes whether you go first or second, you decided it doesn't matter, because you can still make a board through it. 3 nib I was iffy on, but came up against a lot of road matchups and against fire. Usually just swap out the jewels when I know I'm against fire. Game 2, just play nib. This was the Yubel hate. This card just literally was like handshake against Yubel. Much do your best just to get to seals. You don't have to do anything fancy. They can't special summon any lighter darks, which is literally their whole deck plus the Fiendsmith engine. So they can't play, and they're all 0/0. So they cannot beat this by battle. So it honestly was just like the craziest tech. I'm sure a lot of people want it too, but it worked really well. A lot of times too, when you know you're gonna go this for Yubel, you make like a little security blanket play where you can set Kaiman with seals, and also get access to Genroku, which is pretty crazy. It lets you play around Ash. So say for example you have like a seal, and then you kind of just go like, oh, chain link 1 seal to bounce something, and you chain Kaiman, and then they got to choose whether they want Ash this or that. Then on resolution, you'll add Genroku. Chain link 1 seal is mandatory, chain 2 Genroku. So you chain block Ash that way.
Oh,
so
that's insane.
Yeah, you just make sure you get this out, and then you get follow up at the same time. You don't care if this dies because they should end on nothing, and then you have follow-up right here if you didn't have field spell anyway. So it was like just a surefire strategy.
That's crazy. Them. I never actually knew that line.
Yeah, so that was really good. Cosmic, just for back row. Mostly for skill drain against fire, and if I played against stun, terrible deck. Cavalry. Never saw this card all tournament, but would have been crazy if I did. Side this just against fire, really. Different dimension ground and 2 barrier. Barrier were for the mirror match. Maybe if I played against Branded in 2, there were a couple here, and maybe like a random voices voice. I played against Meliodas too, so this came out really well. It's called Fusion. It was a good night. Different Dimension Ground was just more graveyard hate. It was a really strong card. It works really well for your engine because going first, you still have all your cards in the grave, and then after that you just set this and then just turn their shit off, and then that's it.
It's good, my man. Chris, I'm super excited for you. You got any shout outs for us?
Yeah, I got a couple. I'd like to thank the testing group. So we got Irvin here, Oscar, my boy Doe. Shout out to Kyle, my biggest hater. Motivated me. He didn't top, but I did. Check him out. In all honesty, I was just like really happy for myself. I was gonna quit Yu-Gi-Oh or take a break, and this was like my first solo event and coming out and just topping Nats was like pretty insane. So yeah, had a lot of support obviously from all these guys. Great event. So yeah.
Sounds good, my man. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day.
Thanks, man. You too.